Okay, all right.
that was weird. What
Wait,
happened
Jeff,
there?
smack something else.
Actually, the intro song.
God.
Oh, I heard that.
The intro song is on a record, and
Yeah.
us tapping on the table caused it to skip.
Skip the record.
That won't be in the
Last call.
release, but
Yeah.
Hey, I just realized tomorrow is my 9-year anniversary at Rooster Teeth full time.
dude, hell yeah, that's
December,
awesome.
December 1st. That was the day I came in because I had a 2-month temp contract, and I was like, "Hey, what's going on with that? I need to know,because I'd moved back from LA."
Was
and
this
You're hired.
This is Congress.
This is kind of this post Supreme Surrender and all that.
Yeah. And I came in. I was like, "Hey, so do I have a job?" And you're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry." And I was like, "Okay, I don't know, but I need to know." And they're like, "Nah, don't worry about it." And then it was like December. It was like my last day. It was December 1st, and I was like, And then you and Bernie, I think Matt may have called me in that little conference room we had overlooking Congress. I'm like, yeah. So we'd
You
like
mean
to
Monty's bedroom?
yeah, like, "Hey, we'd like to offer you a full-time job." And I was like, "Oh, look at that." And so that was 9 years ago tomorrow, as of recording.
A long time.
That's
Happy
awesome,
anniversary,
man.
buddy.
Pretty awesome,
Yeah,
man.
congrats.
Pretty cool.
How do you feel about the company after 9 years through it?
It is changed a lot. I mean,
Look, you
obviously.
didn't see us at our beginning, but you saw us at through history. And if you watch the 15-year documentary we did, we realized that a lot of the foundation of the current company was laid in that 636 office, right? Or not 636, that seven
Congress office.
the Congress office. What is it called? 719
Yeah.
Congress office. All the departments that we like, this department broadcast, it was all seeded and planned and built.
Like
and
everything. That's where
it was a
all
very
kind of brought
foundational
out.
period, and you were
That's
there
where
for that.
Monty showed up, and they sort of began animation.
Animation began
That's
there.
Where the podcast began there.
Broadcast began
Achievement
there.
Hunter began
Achievement Hunter
there.
began there.
I mean,
Ruby
Redbird
began there.
Ruby, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
did it begin there?
He started the planning. I
Really?
didn't think it did, but I found out later. Yeah.
Well, really? Because I thought
just remembered it.
I remember Monty
Live
and
action
Miles
started
and
there?
Carrie. Yeah, live action was there talking about Ruby back in the day. Yeah, it's wild, like how much like all of that has grown into what it is now. It's so radically different from then. But
Hopefully, it's much like the city of Austin. It's a good change.
yeah,
It's
I
growing.
like to
we're
think
growing
so.
respectfully.
Just like
and-
City of Austin, there's fucking scooters everywhere in this building. Yeah, no, it's been super cool. I'm very, very happy to be here. I can't imagine doing anything else. I almost had to do something else at one point, and then having not to do that is pretty good. This is definitely a dream job, and I never take that for granted.
I'm glad you still enjoy it.
Me too.
What's really surreal to me is even like, especially as a fan, is that office that's downtown got part. I don't know if it's fully torn down to the structure. Or was it
100%
all the way
torn
down?
It's
Yeah.
a
I know it's-
30-story hotel now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Because, there was an Always Open that was live for some part of a comedy show earlier this year. It was right next door to that. And then afterwards, we had a group of people that was there, and then we went next door to where the office was, went upstairs, and there's like a open kind of
Bar, restaurant type thing,
out
yeah.
in the space. So we're sitting there having drinks and like some finger foods, like in where the closet was from like sketches. Like, you don't need to look in that closet. Like, it was so weird. I'm like, this is where the office was. It was right here.
It's weird
now
to
it's
think.
a bar.
It's weird to think that Achievement Hunter began in a former women's restroom of a Wendy's.
Achievement Hunter began in the former women's restroom of a Wendy's.
Yeah.
That is 100. That is 100% accurate.
Title of the
No, easily.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because
Yeah.
it was a 2-story Wendy's downtown Austin, and then it got bought by someone who then split it. So the upper level was a separate office, and the lower level was a pita pit. And then and every day to get to the Achievement Hunter office, or to get to Rooster Teeth, you'd have to walk through Pita Pit up some stairs, and then open the door and try not to steal anything from Pita Pit. So
Yeah, I remember the dude that owned that Pita Pit, Asa, is a really nice guy. Still see him around town sometimes. He was like, "Yeah, listen, if y'all want any fountain drinks or whatever on your way up," and I remember Bernie and I were both like, "No,
yeah,
no, don't let it. We don't want that. Like,
Yeah.
you will regret
Yep.
saying that.
Yeah.
We're here 24 hours a day. We're disgusting. Don't take that off the table right now." And he's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Trust me, you'll go
He's
out of
like,
business."
Before I change my mind,
Go
you
out
take
of
that
it.
away
He's
right
like,
now.
he's like, grab some chips, just come back later, pay for them if you want to or whatever. And I was like,
Nope.
never. I never
no,
once
no.
did that.
No.
And then you'd unlock the back door, step over the human shit, literally human shit, to get into the office.
It was like being in San
Walk
Francisco.
walk through the Pita Pit, go up the stairs, and we were right there. And so,
And I will say, like, I've done a lot in my past. Like, there was a time period where I professionally played games. I got paid to do it. Then I was in game news journalism. Then I was full-time solo content creating. And there is no place like this.
It's
And
different.
It's like
very different.
It's just the best of like everything.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Well, it's cool too because like every iteration of it has had like its golden moment. I like to think like being downtown at Congress, like that was really special. Being at 636 is very special. Being in Stage 5 was very special. Being over in Soundcheck has been like every single moment has been great. And then like in every like I mean I look back on everything in positive light. I don't think at any one point we've been better than we are right now. Like we just like every moment is better than the previous.
Every moment is our best.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
and
is
so I mean I look
a
back
good
fondly
feeling.
on some really good stuff, but man, it's been incredible.
Did you ever go to the Buda office?
No, I think
You never stepped foot there?
No, I never stepped inside. I think maybe I went down to Buda one time with you guys.
You're
but we
right.
didn't
That
go
was
in.
it's funny because like your entry points are also different, but like that was you're right. Like I think of golden moments. There were a lot in that office, even in Bernie's house back before we got there. But it's crazy.
Yeah.
As jokey as it was, one of the things I remember from The Office, and it's petering last season, was Andy at the very end. He's like, I wish there was like, he's basically reflecting on the good old days, right? And he's like, I wish there was a like someone to tap on your shoulder to be like, to tell you that, like, to inform you that you're in the good old days. And so every now and then, like, I just remember that and try to like look at what we're doing now, what I'm doing now, whatever, to be like, these will be the good old days. Because like I've moved a lot. Like when I was in college, I was always living in different cities, and every time I left, like each apartment I was in, each room I lived in a house, each whatever, like all had like these totally distinct memories wrapped up in a package in that room that you're leaving. And so it kind of like forced me to realize that, because I moved like every semester. So now I'm like, every time I try to like put the nostalgia in right now and just like and look.
No,
at it,
it's
crazy.
it's great to try to have that kind of insight in the moment too. I was having a similar conversation with Fabello, who directs Haunter, and we were talking about Haunter, and I was my approach to Haunter is that every time we film an episode, I try to remind myself this is one less episode that I have left to film in my life.
Yeah.
Like I'm one episode closer. We're one episode closer to the show being canceled or ending or whatever, of never doing it again. And so I try to appreciate every episode of Haunter, because what we do is so different. That is so different than anything else we've done, and so unique and so much fun. And I know it's finite, even if it's the biggest success in the world, even if we go 10 seasons, that's still every episode is one less that we have that we'll get to
I hope
experience.
that gets more seasons.
I do too.
More seasons
And
so bad.
and Daniel was like, "That's kind of depressing," and I'm like, "No, it's not depressing. It's actually just trying to take stock in the moment and appreciate it, because it's a really special thing, and I don't want to have that like, I wish I'd paid more attention.
Yeah,
I wish I'd enjoyed it in the moment
Wish I
more,
took
because now it's
advantage of
gone. I'll
being
never
there.
do it again."
I mean, that's a great mentality in general, because everything has an end. Like your life has an end, so like everything has to end.
Maybe
eventually.
yours.
But like it's just good to not to get too cheesy. It's just good to appreciate everything that you do in the moment that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Times change, or your body betrays you.
Body betrays you.
Yeah.
But like,
damn.
but also, I mean, like, it's true, because I did a lot of growing and soul searching in college, and one of the things I realized was we're kind of taught to always look to the next thing, and so you're never really accomplishing or feeling accomplished, because you're like, as soon as you've hit that goal, it's behind you, and you're looking at the next one. So you never really stop and, like Ferris Bueller, like take a look around once in a while.
I wonder if that's a thing that's unique to America. And
It might be.
Americans. Because I feel like other cultures in other countries, they take more time to enjoy like quality of life, and I feel like we and maybe I'm way off base, and the rest of the world's like, no, we're just the same.
I don't know,
but I do feel like in our travels and stuff, and just like interacting with people from different cultures, I do feel like as Americans we're like always laser focused on like the next thing and
How
getting
do I
there
be more
as
successful?
quickly as humanly possible.
Let me show you the origin of that. Like, from my experience, school was all about passing the standardized tests.
Yep.
The teachers taught you shit so you could do the test well, so the school could look good, so the school could get funded. Like,
and so that you could go to the next school and do it again.
So you were taught to look at each basically field goal post, or each like chapter
Like
would
a
close with a
tentpole,
test,
yeah.
right? And so like, and that kind of, you're just grown up with that.
Very often you weren't learning anything; you were just learning the answers to a
Right.
test.
Yeah.
Like,
You come
you
back
know
from
what I mean?
summer-
Like, it wasn't like you were really
Yeah,
taking in any
you come back from
knowledge.
summer and you're like, I don't know what I've learned. I don't know what I
I just know the answer to this question is this chemical.
Yeah.
I will say, being like, I mean, just being in Europe for 10 days,
chef.
you realize that Europeans have a much deeper respect for history. I
Yeah.
think. Like,
Well, they have more of it.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot more of it, but it seems like, I mean, you mentioned William Wallace, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, let me tell you about William Wallace. And it's like, how the fuck did you know that? And it's like, oh, yeah, everyone knows. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah. And
Not
like,
here, they don't.
Yeah.
No way.
It's like, it's a Mel Gibson movie, right?
Did you hear about the celebrity that did this right now?
Yeah, and it just seems like, I mean, like, if you ask, who, I don't know, like Benedict Arnold, like, who would know that in America?
Some of it's just it's the nature of our career
Arnold
too.
Palmer.
Yeah.
Like I think about this a lot in the last couple of years of Achievement Hunter and Let's Play, because like we have 2018 saw us film Weird Place, it saw us film Haunter and launch that new show, which will hopefully be a continuing production for us. It saw us do Tabletop, which will hopefully be a continuing production for us. No news to announce today, but on that. But we're working on the next iterations of those. Will there be a season 2 of Weird Place? Possibly, and we have plans for it if there is. We've prepared for that contingency. Will there be more hardcore tabletop? Possibly, we have a contingency for that. Right. Will there be more Haunter? Definitely. But on top of that, while we're making those shows, you and I specifically are in meetings about the next 3 shows. And we're like, because we have to forecast and run a company, you and I are always thinking 18 months to 2 years in advance. And like, so I guess it's just like part of the nature of the career field as well, because while we're filming Haunter, you and I are working on those other 2 shows, 3 shows, and if you count like the travel shows and stuff we've got a slate of like 6 or 7 new shows. We'll get 3 of them made this year, and then by May we'll be working on what we're going to film in September 2020.
Right.
It's fucking crazy.
I mean, it is the same thing though, because like we could easily forget in the recording of Haunter that it's happening right now and to appreciate it right now because we are thinking about 2019, 2020, whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing. And like one of the biggest things, and if you're watching at home, I've had people ask me like, why do you do this career? What were your kind of steps to lead you down this path versus another path or whatever? And one of the biggest things I realized was we aren't really taught, and maybe it's this once again just America, I don't know. We aren't really taught to how to find the thing you're passionate about or find the thing that you're interested in, because your passion will drive your capacity to succeed. And you're not gonna, like, just imagine simply, like, are you gonna be the best? Like I scooped ice cream for a summer. Like, I'm not gonna be the best guy that scoops ice cream. There's no passion there. It's just a job you fill your day, and I don't want to fill my day for the rest of my life.
You want to fill it with other things.
Like, so like it's important to find the thing that you're passionate about.
That's what you're saying.
It makes it easier to kind of appreciate every day too. So
yeah, it's
deep cutting stuff.
It's true. I was talking to my financial advisor this morning because I had to do some divorce splitting up stuff. And I hadn't spoken to her in a while, and we were just kind of like shooting the shit while we were waiting for some accounts to get created. And she was like, "So how's work?" And I was like, "It's good." And she's like, "What are your hours like?" And I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess if I'm awake, I mean, I just answered an email in front of you. Like, if I'm awake, I guess I'm working 20 My work hours are my waking hours.
Yeah.
Even like weekends.
Because it's what else am I gonna do?
Yeah.
But yeah, even like weekends, or even like right now, like I'm going to Sweden next week to work on something, and so they're like,
I'm excited for you.
They're like 8 hours ahead, so like I'm getting emails at like midnight when they're waking up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I should respond to that, and it's just like.
Have you been to Sweden before?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I'm excited for it.
I'll ask you later. I can't remember what it's for.
It's not Red Links. Red Links is in Finland.
That's Finland.
It's for another game called it's called Kingdom the game.
Okay.
So it's
I know you're all about Kingdom.
I've
seen you streaming a lot.
So the developers are bringing me out there to check it out. So, and then the week after that, I'm going out to North Carolina to go check out Division 2.
That's exciting.
Katie and I are flying out there to check that out.
Dude, that was so fun that one time we got to play it.
Dude,
at E3?
My dream,
so much fun.
My goal in life is to convince those guys at Ubisoft to the next time they have like a trailer drop where they're showing off a new game.
Let's play it.
Have us do it, and like because we had fun goofing
like they
around.
have the overdub.
Yeah, they have like, okay, Johnny, I'm going in here to throw them a grenade.
I'm gonna
like,
smoke off,
and it
the
sounds so fake.
My goal is to
so bad.
convince every video game publisher and developer to be as cool as Rockstar and put us in games. I have gotten like it.
Yeah, I still am getting lots.
It is like I was talking about this with Bernie the other day. It's like 16 years of Rooster Teeth, all the accolades, all the stuff we've done, showing at the Lincoln Center, being on TV, winning awards, all that shit. None of it has held a candle to being a minor extra in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I get like 100 tweets a day still about it.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool. That's definitely a bucket list kind of deal. So
You guys are in Worms?
yeah, we're
We've been into a lot of stuff. Yeah,
Worms.
One of my favorites is probably the Plants vs Zombies one because we were fans and they made the Achievement Hunter one, and then in 2 we made the comment about how we weren't. Would they? The guy
They fired the guy.
The guy that put us in the Easter egg in must have got fired because he didn't put us in 2. And then the next DLC, there was a fucking Easter egg in it that said, "Nope, I still work here."
It's like having a communication. It's like what, like a fucking not the Notebook. What was that Sandra? What the movie? The letter?
Oh, Walk in the Clouds.
I don't know. Whatever.
Lake House, right?
Lake House.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
House
like Lake
Death
House.
Note.
We said like messages back and
That's the
forth
one.
through
Yeah,
DLC.
yeah. Wrote the name. The guy had a heart attack. Yeah.
Or while you were sleeping, that was one too. Right?
What, Death
Oh,
Note?
The Matrix.
Anyway.
Oh, don't watch the live action movie of that.
Yeah,
It
I
is
heard it's off. I heard it's
bad.
bad. Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Does he have a
I did
bad
enjoy
apple?
Willem Dafoe though.
Do you guys have any new entertainment discoveries lately? Like I talked about those podcasts I listened to earlier, but anything? I know you're watching Haunted.
Discoveries.
Orville season 2 is starting up very soon.
Oh, Miss Maisel season 2. I
Orville
think
is
starting.
fucking great. It's such a good sci-fi show. The first episode is rough, and then from that point on, it gets so damn good. If you like sci-fi, seriously check out Orville. It's like Seth MacFarlane. If you don't like Seth MacFarlane, try to get through it.
Popcorn
But
guy.
fuck, it's so good.
Redenbacher.
Got it.
Monopoly guy.
The shows I'm on right now, aside from Haunting at Hill House that we discussed, is I need to finish the latest season of Better Call Saul, so it's not really a discovery. It's a good show. I dabbled with The Good Place. Couple episodes in,
Such a good show.
but
Caught
I'm
up.
distracted right now because I am catching up, or I guess finishing because it's canceled. Last Man on Earth.
Oh yeah.
Both.
I couldn't get
those
into
are
that
on Hulu,
show.
I think.
I watched most of the first
It's
season.
just that it's so fast.
Well,
Yeah.
Also, he's such a dick, and it's so hard. It's
he's
so
a
hard
dick.
to enjoy a
He's
show where the
super
main character's such a
cringy.
dick.
Yeah, he lies a lot. It's like that is the package of season 1. And then he has like soul searching between season 1 and 2, and that kind of changed the dynamic. Otherwise, I totally get it.
I'm
'Cause
midway
I was
through
close to
season
falling
2.
off.
I'm midway through season 2, and I think he's finally starting to get.
Now he's just awkward. It's less
Yeah.
like cringy, lying, like finagling, trying to get into people's pants like season 1 was. But it's a pretty like it's not a deep show. It's pretty surface level,
Sure.
like good. Like it's just nice to kind of when I'm going to bed or like as I'm put the TV on, put on a timer, and then kind of fall asleep to just some easy to watch, quick, short shows that are kind of just fun and lighthearted.
That's
Shot
one of
yeah.
the things I like about The Good Place is it is quick and easy to watch and like popcorn, but it is also
It keeps
a
moving.
very deep show
Yeah.
if you choose to look
Yeah.
at it
Yeah,
through that lens.
There's
like
good
you get
metaphors
both
and
out of
stuff.
it. Yeah, you can
Sometimes
just
I'll walk
surface
out
level,
episode-
turn your brain off and enjoy it, and it's clever and funny, or you can pay attention and think about what's going on larger in the larger scope of things, and it's fascinating.
That's my
Sometimes
next
I'll
show
walk
to
out an
watch.
episode going, "Fuck, I gotta do better.
yeah.
I just gotta do better."
Yeah.
Fucking cheating
Be a
with
better
the
me.
bowl of chili with fucking gummy bears and shit in it.
Yeah, this
Oh, the lights
breakdown.
coming on. I think.
Yeah, it's time to go.
All
Wait,
right.
I need to put this in before we leave. Those 2 giant cows, make them bang. I want super cows.
Well, that's fake too, by the way. You know, right?
Make the fake
No,
cows
I
bang. I want
saw
fake
it. We
super
saw a
cows.
video.
It's a very large cow, but not abnormally large, and a bunch of tiny cows.
That's what I was thinking.
Was it next to a very
like
short man?
the cows around them were all like 4 feet tall.
You ruined my
Cows
dreams,
alive.
Jack.
I'm good at that.
Lion cow. But is there actually a giant cow in Canada? That's the news story. What? It might be like 6.5. It's huge. A big cow might be